Welcome to Negotiating Happiness, the show that helps you find happiness, success, and balance in your work and life. I'm Adriana, your host for this journey into entrepreneurship and personal growth. We're broadcasting live on 107.7 and 105.3 FM in New Orleans as part of the United Public Radio Network. We explore the latest strategies, insights, and stories from successful entrepreneurs and experts. From managing stress to building a thriving business, we've got you covered. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Negotiating Happiness. I'm your host, Adriana Fierstro, and we are live on the United Public Radio Network and UFO Paranormal Radio on 107.7 and 105.3 FM in New Orleans. And we're also streaming on pretty much most popular streaming platforms, including some of our favorites. So welcome. Today is a little bit different because I decided to try out a different format for the show. I wanted to introduce some kind of flexibility, or just maybe you're having an off day and you wanted to just sit there and listen and do some work, and I want to be that show for you sometimes, where we still get to do some CEO business owner type of stuff, but we don't have to talk for the whole hour, or we can just listen and learn from each other on how we run our business. So because it is CEO Mondays, I decided to let everybody in on how I'm going to plan for next year. Now, is it going to be perfect? Nope. We all know that. But we're going to try. And we're going to try and do it with a smile on our faces, because I cannot believe it's already almost 2024. So we're going to start off with doing a little bit of calendar planning. Then we're going to look at our quarterly strategy of what we're going to talk about in our business. And we're going to try and set some goals for the new year's as well, in terms of, maybe slashing expenses or increasing revenue. So just stay tuned. You never know what we're going to do here. And at the same time, because I don't want to sit here and ramble on about all the things that I have to do, we're going to listen to some free commercial licensed music that we have the privilege of listening to on Pixabay. And I'm definitely going to shout out all of the artists that are providing this for us. So if you are interested in some of their music, please feel free to check them out. Just bear with me here. Today, like I said, is a slow day. We're just working on our business today. All right. So let's give it a go and see if you guys can hear me here. Other than that, you know the spiel. Grab your coffee, grab your lunch, and just come sit down and listen in, or do some work on your own business, or maybe you just need to touch up your budget for the next year. This would be a good time to do that too. Or maybe you just want to plan a trip. We had a whole episode on how to plan a very cost-efficient trip. So join us and do that. Let's see who is first on our list here. When you need tech to work for you and it doesn't work, that happens a lot, actually. No big deal. No big deal. Just bear with me, guys. So again, where we're looking for commercial free music, or if you want to use it for your marketing purposes, you can go to Pixabay. That's pixabay.com, and you can search it. Actually really good for stock photos as well. But we definitely want the relaxing music to come on so that we can enjoy some peace and quiet while I take you guys, if you're watching, I'm going to take you through some of my calendar and how we're going to split some time. We're going to talk about, emergency time. We're also going to talk about vacation time. We're also going to talk about client work time, and obviously CEO Mondays, because that's important. It's kind of like doing your ideal calendar all over again, except it's probably a little bit more realistic of what it is. And hey, if you decide that you wanted to do your ideal calendar and put it into practice as of tomorrow, you can. We've talked about this one before as well, about how you want, operate your business, how you would love for it to be structured. That's the beauty of it. You get to call the shots. So, yeah, let's dig in. Apparently my phone doesn't want to update, so, no big deal. Can't play your music for now. Of course, this is what would happen. Just wouldn't be a Monday if tech didn't crap out on you, right? Pardon my French. Okay. In the meantime, if you guys are listening and you want to start thinking about, what could you do better for next year? Is there anything in your business that you improved on greatly? Can you take a moment and reflect on that? Can you, celebrate that? We have this really bad habit of not celebrating things when we do things, and that's not something that should be taken away, because there are a lot of hard days where you just need a little pick-me-up, and you need to remember why you're doing it in the first place. So that's why you need to remember what exactly you've done and how you're going to do better and how capable you are. Okay, guys, so the tech is working. Let's try the first one. So this one is FAS sounds. Hopefully you guys can hear it. Ooh, I like the vibe. All right, guys. So if you just want to listen in, that's fine. If you want to send comments as I'm working through the calendar and setting things up, please let me know. I hope you guys can hear this volume okay. Oh, good. We're starting off strong today's show, guys, with some Twitch spam. I appreciate people trying to cold DM other business owners, but probably don't do it while they're live on a show. Just a thought. Okay, guys, so we're sharing here my calendar, and we're going to start fresh with, I guess, January. We're probably going to look at things month by month, and then we're going to look at quarterly strategy in terms of marketing and kind of where we want our projects to be. One thing that I did really good this year was I listened. Well, if you ask my coach, I probably didn't listen fully, but I did a really good job, and I listened to a lot of the suggestions. So I was able to increase revenue, and I was also able to kind of reformulate the idea of who my ideal client was. And unfortunately, that does come with, change and understanding and realizing that not every client is going to be your ideal client, and that's okay. I still have really good relationships with everybody, which is super helpful, but I think those are the two good things that I did this year. Could I have done them faster or better? Probably, but I think that's a win. Okay, so our next one here is called Just Relax by LESFM. I really hope you guys can hear these. My microphone is telling me you can hear them. If not, just like drop a comment and let me know if it's either too loud or you can't hear me at all. We're gonna block off some out of office. Because let's be for real, nobody really works that first week anyway. Everybody's still kind of dazed and confused from the holidays. And here are the holidays in Canada. That was a good one. That wasn't too bad. If you guys want, let me know what you guys are working on. Here's another one by Music for Videos. And again, it's on pixabay.com. Just popped up my Google Doc here for anybody that's listening. We're going to try and create this sort of structure for it. It doesn't have to be fancy, you just have to write it down basically. So we're doing some 2024 planning, and we're going to start looking at quarters. I didn't realize this music, some of these songs are kind of short, but they're really beautiful. This is another one called Piano Woman by Daddy S Music. So what should we focus on? First would be our schedule, because we have to determine capacity. Then it should be sales and revenue, because that will be determined by the above as well. The other thing, we should look at marketing strategy. What are we pushing? What worked for us last year? What's going to work for us this year? And I can tell you right now, looking at my comments here and the soundboard guys, if your marketing strategy is to start cold DMing people or commenting your offers on people who are literally in the middle of a show or doing something, it's not a very good marketing strategy. Don't do it. People get annoyed. And if you've got any personal time that you need to include or personal projects, you should include them in your biz planning, especially if you're kind of like a one man or one woman show, because they will take time and you don't want to take away from either. It's supposed to be a balance, you know, and sometimes these personal projects are what makes you happy and what keeps you going. And then we should look at our expenses. Which technically should be up here with sales and revenue, right? And you can look at staff and roles. Because those might change for you as well. Or maybe you're looking to hire somebody or find services. This would be a good time to kind of plan for it, because that will feed into everything else above. Okay, let's do another one. It's called Once in Paris by Pump the Mind. I'm thinking of public holidays, guys. For anybody that's listening, I'm going to start with my schedule to see how much time we actually get off, or when people don't work. It's super helpful. The best part about this is that if you're looking, there is a whole whackload of holidays that people tend to, um, celebrate in Canada. It could be in the States, doesn't matter. And you, most people who are employed don't always get them off, but because you're your own business owner, you can pretty much decide. So if you want to take Halloween off because you are a crazy mom like I am and want to put up a ton of Halloween decorations and take your son out trick-or-treating, then you can do that. It's great because you're a business owner. So let's see. That song was very right. There's one. It's called "The Beat of Nature" by Olexi. If anybody's looking for this playlist, guys, I'm going to pop the link in the chat. We're going to go to the next one. It's called Weekends by Dave Fox. For those of you just tuning in, this is your host Adriana on Negotiating Happiness, and you are listening to 107.7 and 105.3 FM in New Orleans on the United Public Radio Network and UFO Paranormal Radio. We are just having a work period for this show where we dive into how to plan our 2024 year and what that looks like in terms of a calendar, and what are some of the goals that we can put into place. When are we taking time off? When are we building time into the business? Because today, after all, is CEO Monday, and we should be doing that stuff anyway. But I thought I would show you guys how easy it is to just open a doc and go ahead and plop all of that information in so you can make better choices for next year for your business. And one of the things that I insist on is, sit, reflect, and talk about the things that you've done really well in your business, because you should always celebrate, because there are going to be plenty of days where you are going to need a happy moment, and you need to remember that happy moment, because running a business is not easy. Okay, everybody, it's not easy. We all know this. And while we've been doing this, we've been listening to some awesome artists on pixabay.com that have commercially licensed free music, and they're super relaxing, and I posted the link here in the chat if you guys wanted to go ahead and see. And we've had quite a few on. I'm about to play another one by Daddy S Music. See what is next on here. William King, ambient classic. That was lovely too. Let's see. This one's called Milkshake by Coma Media. Okay. So it's called Moment by Serge Quadrado. Quadrado? I hope I said that right. Leave a comment, guys, if you've got anything to add on how you plan your year. We're obviously not going to get through it all today, but we've got a head start here. So we'd be continuing here with the calendar, but we want to also look at sales and revenue. What are your goals? So these are some of the questions that you can ask yourself when you're talking about increase in sales. So what does that mean, right? Or sorry, increase in revenue. What does that mean in sales? Are the expenses going to increase? Are you going to have more subcontractors? And does it change any of the current fee structures? So go ahead and pour in all of your thoughts in here and figure out math-wise what that means for you, comparing it to what you've kind of done for this year. And the same thing goes for expenses. Try and see what can you cut down, what can you consolidate, what can you get more efficient on. That was a wonderful one as well. Let's do this one by Lemon Music Studio. That was a lovely one as well. Let's see. This one's called Showreel by QB Sounds, QUBE Sounds. So basically, when we talk about this, I get help from obviously social media professionals as well. But we're talking about what kind of strategy. Wow, I can't speak today. Strategy is it? It's not just social media posts, so that's short form content. This would be classified as long form content. And how do we use it? How do we use it 3 times, right? So from social media and podcasts, we're also going to have a blog about them. We're also going to recycle well-performing posts, turn them into reels, and vice versa. And reels into posts. Okay? And we have to have a storyline. What's the story? Okay? What problems do we solve? And whose problems are they? Okay. And this kind of works for the Done For You projects as well. And this would work really well with case studies. So your strategy would be to kind of present case studies to show what the above is, like what the solution is and whatnot. Case studies, we can also turn them into blogs, right? Socials, and maybe even reels. Okay, that's just kind of where I'm headed with it, but some of you guys are probably pretty active on Twitch or TikTok or whatever else. Make it fit into your dynamic, and talk about who your ideal customer is, because that's what this is. What's the stories? What problem do we solve, and whose problems are they, right? And that's who we're going to target. And what else? So personal time and projects. This would be anything that requires time away. So do I have time away from the business. And why? So I don't know, are we volunteering? Do we have parenting responsibilities? This is not vacation time. This is what you're working on, etc. Okay. The next one is your staff, subcontractor, and roles. So start asking yourself questions like, did the current structure work? What did and what didn't? Do we know why? And then the next one is important too, is did the business evolve enough to require role changes, right? You want to make sure that you have, people that are good at what they do in those specific roles. You might have really good people, but they're in the wrong roles. You want to make sure that you play to their strengths. Okay. Do we sub out more work or less? And I know a lot of people think about, scaling as something that is just natural, but it's not natural for everybody. Not everybody wants to have that kind of business. So you always kind of have to think, is this year the year that I do that? Or do we have to wait? Or what kind do we have to do it? And if you are subbing out things, what do you do? So are you efficient enough that you how can I improve my delegation system or standard procedures? Because that's how everybody learns, right? To do something in your business. And if you don't have any, start drafting them. We do that a lot for our clients. We draft standard procedures, and then when people come and go, people leave, people get other jobs, then you're not left in the dark. You actually know what that person does and how to do it and where to go. So how can you improve your delegation standard procedures or regular meetings? What are your communication channels? And some of these things don't change throughout the year, but because it is a quarterly plan, sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. But these are the types of questions that you could be asking yourself. I'm thinking actually about making a freebie with this so that people can download it and literally try and plan this out on their own and ask themselves, do some self-reflection planning for 2024. And upcoming events, for example, we won't have any during quarter one, but we're going to have some during quarter two, which is another retreat. So what I would say is upcoming events would be preparation and meeting with vendors and professionals for retreat. That takes time, so I want to make sure I record it in there so I make sure I have time. Okay. Other upcoming events, perhaps podcast appearances, podcast or radio, I guess. Okay. And projects and working on the business. We are always looking to update landing pages. Maybe some Google ads. Maybe you do meta ads. Who knows? Update budgeting, capacity, product and service list. And also a really, really important one is update your CRM workflows and client experience. The portals, anything graphic, right? You got to make sure that everything's up to date. For example, my address changed, so we have to do that. So this is about it, guys. We're just going to repeat this for the next one, for the next quarter and the next quarter. And then after that, we would sit down, do some sort of self-reflection, start adding in some dates. This could definitely be a lot fancier, but it doesn't need to be. So I will make this available in a freebie form you guys can sign up for on the website. I will send a link out later. If you wanted to have some sort of back and forth or ask questions, please feel free to tune into the comments in our next episode, and we can do that together. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you guys liked the music. If you are a business owner or somebody who needs some free stock images or music, this is definitely a good website that I use all the time, which is pixabay.com, and you search there for current licensing. I do suggest you check the licensing because not everything is 100% free or without attribution, so you'll find everything that I played on that playlist there. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you to the United Public Radio Network and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network. Thanks you guys for listening in. This was Negotiating Happiness, and I can't believe we're on our 27th episode. So please tune in, check out our archives, and we will see you guys later.